Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us here today in our webinar, Struggling with Investing Overwhelm. Here's how to create a consistent income in minutes per day. This is Mark Soberman. I founded NetPicks back in 1996. Very proud of the fact that we've been doing this now for 21 years, working with active individual investors and traders just like all of you listening here today. I'm also joined by three of our teammates here, and I want to bring each of them on the microphone to introduce themselves. First up, we have Mike Rixey, and he is our options specialist and trade coach. Mike, how's it going today?
Doing well, thanks, Mark. And as Mark mentioned, I do run the options programs here at NetPicks, and I'll jump back on the mic here in just a bit and share with you some of our swing trading techniques at NetPicks.
Great, thanks so much. And let me bring up next Troy Noonan. He focuses on all of our active income trading programs, also a trade coach. Troy, how are you doing today?
Doing excellent, Mark. Got a great strategy to show in a bit, so as soon as we get to it, I'll also jump back on the mic.
Very good. Looking forward to it. And then Brian Short, who's also one of the partners in NetPicks. Brian, same question. How's it going?
Hey, it's going great, Mark. Really excited to share some of the insights that we've learned over the years of working with traders.
Awesome. So we're looking forward to it. Each of them will come back on in the presentation and give you a lot more great training and information that you're going to want to hear. So definitely stand by for that. So let's go ahead and just kind of kick this off. Like I said, we definitely have a lot of information packed into this webinar. My name is Mark Soberman. I founded NetPicks way back in 1996. It's our 21st year working with and helping individuals just like all of you to be successful investing in the markets and creating brand new consistent income streams for yourself. We currently right now have clients in over 106 countries around the world. And look, I know there are a ton of choices out there. It can get quite confusing to know what market, what strategy, what system, what style, and so on is the most effective. But this webinar is all about showing you how to solve that challenge and pick the perfect direction for you to start taking today so you can create a consistent income for yourself. So let's talk about a few housekeeping things. Everybody who's listening here is on mute, so it should be just us speaking, and that's what you'll hear. There's a lot of people on the webinar. I want to let you all know, look, there's no magic bullets. We're not here to proclaim any kind of get-rich-quick false promise, so let's get that out of the way right from the start. This is not a product demonstration. We're really here to tell you all about the program and give you all the information you need with the focus on creating income. You must be willing to work, and you have to be coachable. That's very, very important. I've got a free valuable gift that we're going to offer to you to improve your trading at the end of the webinar. That's your reward for hanging around with us here in this presentation. This definitely is going to change the way that we think you look at investing for income and trading forever. So hang on to your hats. Let's go ahead and dig in. So what we're going to cover today, let me give you a few of the items that we want to make sure that we get taken care of. And this is going to be a serious presentation. This is what we call gut check time. You know, more than likely, everybody listening here has tried a lot of systems, or at least some systems, and you just haven't had any success or maybe minimal success. Perhaps you've been so overwhelmed by the choices out there in investing and trading that you don't really know where to start, or the claims are so outlandish you don't believe it. All of that is very, very understandable. But here today we want to change that, because we're going to show you in this webinar how to pick the perfect trading markets and strategy that fits you like a glove. And we're going to demonstrate to you that why having a lot of choices actually is a huge benefit, right? Because markets change. Things change, right, out in the world. Through the years and through the decades, we've seen dramatic changes. We want you to be prepared for all of those. So now I want you to think for a moment, just kind of like think about these three things and think about what your life might be like if we can implement some of these for all of you. If you're able to invest for a brand new, consistent, and reliable part or full-time income, would that not change your life? Knowing exactly what your trade plan is each and every day and have it be simple to follow. Sounds good? Growing your account, your confidence, and ultimately your freedom every time you put the system to work. These are our objectives, and trust me, all three of these will be accomplished through the program that we have here at NetPicks that we're going to be talking about today. So, in their words, we have a lot of things here to say today. We also have hundreds of people from around the world, actually thousands, who use our systems, and sometimes it's nice to see what they say. And these are three of our current clients and some of their quotes, and we've done interviews with them, and you can see This is, what they're talking about and what we want to help you explore here today. So let's talk about some serious questions that I want you to all ask yourself right now. Are you here today because you're tired and frustrated by your current investing and trading results? Are you completely overwhelmed by where to start, what to trade, what system to choose? Do you wonder what life could be like if you had a successful trading business going for yourself, replacing your income or supplying you with a consistent part-time income? What if you could master a single trading system that could provide all of this? What if you could add on a new opportunity and grow your account and grow your income with just an additional click of a button? Have you thought about what this type of financial independence could bring to yourself, your family, your lifestyle? But maybe you're just unsure how to get there. This is really the issue. These are the questions I want to ask you, and hopefully all of you are like yes, and yes to all of those. But there is a problem, right? We all know that there's a problem, because as much as we all aspire to all of that, it can be a challenge to get there. More than likely, you haven't yet found the right combination of the market to trade, the strategy to use, the investment plan to use, that also has to fit perfectly into your current life. We have people in here who are located all over the world, have various sizes of their trading accounts. Not everybody has the same size investment, portfolio. Your risk tolerance might be very different out in the audience here today. Your goals and expectations clearly are going to be different across the board. But once you are trading correctly and we get you the plan and the markets that fit you like a glove and fit you perfectly, everything else will fall into place. And all those questions that I asked you just a moment ago, you will be able to say yes to. Look, with a proven system, you can know that every single day you will start the day with the odds stacked in your favor for profitable trading. You'll know exactly to the tick, the pip, the penny, where to get in, where to get out, and where to get done each and every day that you trade. You'll know that you can count on a consistent new income stream for yourself and your family, and have the confidence that comes with that. So let me tell you a little bit about who we are. NetPicks was founded back in 1996, like I mentioned. That's over 21 years serving people just like you. We've trained individuals in over 100 countries, and over 10,000 people currently use our trading systems and strategies. The coaching team that you're going to hear from today is all made up of former students of our systems. Okay, these are people that know exactly what your goals are, your objectives are, your challenges, and your struggles, and we're going to help you get up and over all of those. And one of the key reasons why is because the entire team here, we also trade side by side along with you in the markets every single day. This is how we stay connected, and we know what works and what doesn't work. And our job is to make sure that you focus on exactly what works. With a 21-year track record, we have a track record of success, and we have hundreds of positive testimonials that are people telling their story, and there's no reason that you can't be our next success story. All right, so we have an amazing team. You've already been introduced to Troy. You've been introduced to Mike. You were introduced earlier to Brian and some of the rest of the team here. Everybody's been here for a number of years, and that should tell you something about the way that we work as a team and the way we work with all of you as well. Like I mentioned, everybody is actively involved in the market. Everybody else out there, I think, is preaching the same dated, complicated, high-risk approach to trading. Probably a lot of you have chased, those type of opportunities. Hasn't worked out. But I'm here to tell you, trading does not need to be complicated. The more complicated it is, doesn't mean the better it is. It's usually the exact reverse. You don't need to trade with high risk. That's another thing. A lot of people think they need to hit a home run on every single trade, and we're the exact opposite. We're about keeping low and controlled risk and being very consistent to have income-producing results, not get rich quick, not trying to hit the home run. I'm also a believer that you absolutely need to know every time you place a trade, every time you place an investment, you need to know the exact entry to the tick, to the penny, and you need to know exactly where you're going to get out. And one of the best things I think that we do here is we focus on what I call under the radar markets that are out there. We don't follow what the crowd is following. A lot of times the crowd follows markets that are more difficult and more competitive, but they don't make any money. We're about making money, so we're going to surprise you sometimes with where we're going to tell you that you should be trading and you should be investing. So let's get into the training. And this is all about how to create a consistent income in minutes per day without the overwhelm. And it's all about learning how to trade for a lifetime of income. There's no need to struggle like you have in the past. You have a proven methodology that we're going to set you up with that's been proven to work for over 2 decades. You know, when trading with a system in place, the markets can provide financial freedom, and also, this is just as important, freedom of time. And I would imagine that all of us want both of those. So remember, never overcomplicate the markets. There's simply no reason to use dozens of indicators or highly complicated systems. It does not improve your results. Do not feel that complex strategies are required to profit. In fact, we've learned that the clearer, the simpler, the better. So our recipe to you for successful trading is not to spend hours trading. Don't spend all your stress and time staring at the computer screen or monitoring your trades. Always just know where you're going to get in, get out, and get done, and minimize the amount of time you spend every single day. Learn how to mitigate and reduce risk in the market, okay? There's always a little bit of risk when we trade, but we like to keep it to the minimum. Always make sure your winners are larger than your losers. Always know exactly what your exit plan is on every trade that you place. It's more important than where you enter. And never discriminate against market direction. You do not need to be in the prediction business. You do not need to know if markets are going up or down. It doesn't matter. We are more than happy to profit in both directions. As long as there's movement, there is opportunity for us. So now the question is, what style of trading and what markets you should trade? So I'm going to try to help you, and the team here is going to try to help you start to make some decisions on the approach that you should take. You don't need to make any final decisions here today, but start to think about this. And you know, there's really 2 types of trading styles. It gets right down to it. It's day trading and it's swing trading. And this is kind of what we want to talk about here today. So Troy, I want to hand this off to you, and you take them through a little bit why they should day trade, and maybe, who knows, why they should not day trade.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So here's why you should day trade. There's probably a few other reasons too, but these are the main ones. One in particular, you could start with as low as $5,000 or more, of course, in your trading account. And what I like the most is you could typically spend an hour a day, or sometimes even less. I mean, I often finish within minutes. I hit my goals and I'm done. You can trade both in the US, you can trade during the European markets, and we even have some evening day trading during the Asian markets. You can scale easily by adding position size, so it's really easy to grow your account with a real methodical plan, and you will have trading activity every day. Finally, you can trade more than one market as your experience grows, which helps you diversify. Maybe some reasons why you might not want to day trade is that you're going to have to watch the market. You're going to have to keep your eye on your charts, often tick by tick as a trade is developing or progressing. You're going to have more action and activity, and there could be some additional stress involved with that. You will have to spend more time on occasion to seek out our profit objectives for the day. Another reason is you're going to have higher transaction costs. You need to improve your trade execution skills, of course, and you will have less margin for error. So I'm going to pass this over to Mike, and Mike can talk to us a little bit about why you might want to consider swing trading.
Great. Thank you, Troy. So day trading, no doubt about it, can be extremely exciting, a lot of activity, a lot of profit potential. But there's also a second style of trading that's often overlooked by traders. And I think that's unfortunate because there's a lot of profit potential with swing trading as well. And what we classify as swing trade at NetPicks is holding positions for anywhere from 2 to 5 days. So we're looking to be in positions for a little bit longer stretch of time. And there's some very big benefits of that. There's pros and cons of both day trading and swing trading, and let's take a look at the swing trading side over the next few minutes. So the best part for me as a swing trader full-time, you have to spend very little time each day, many times just minutes or no time at all. I like to come and check my trades in 20 minutes a day or less, and that's an extremely powerful approach because it frees up the rest of my day to get on to other things. You can trade multiple markets with ease. In fact, I trade 26 products personally, and I do that in 20 minutes a day or less. I'll share with you in just a second some charts and show you how I do that in such a short amount of time. So the beauty there is we can get some diversification into the mix with multiple markets. You have more time to make your decision and confirm your entries due to the slower pace. This is also a big feature for me because I tend to be an overanalyzer. I tend to be a deep thinker, and oftentimes I just need more time to process through a trade instead of having to make a split-second decision that like was required when you're actually day trading. You will be able to go after some significant percentage returns. Not unusual in options, in fact, to see 50 to 150% returns in a very short amount of time. When you start to talk about 100% return in a period of 2 to 3 days, that's incredibly powerful. A lot of profit potential there with swing trading. You can trade various markets. You can swing trade Forex, futures, stock, options. I prefer to trade options, and I'll show you why that is here in just a bit. But you have a lot of flexibility in how you implement your swing trading. So finally, and the best part about this, you can fairly easily balance work, life, and other commitments with swing trading. You're not stuck in front of the computer all day long staring at charts. Now, I mentioned there was some cons to swing trading, and let's walk through some of those that you'll need to be aware of. You will have less frequency of trading, meaning less instant gratification at times. Let's face it, day trading is exciting. There's a lot of activity, a lot of trades that can be taken each day. When you're swing trading, you may not necessarily have trades on a daily basis. You may go stretches of days or maybe a week or two without a new trade, and you have to be comfortable with that. It takes some patience to be active in the swing trading game. You'll have to wait longer after an unsuccessful trade to get back into a new equity highs. So when you're day trading a losing trade, you're typically able to battle back pretty quickly because you're taking multiple trades each day. When you're swing trading, again, it can take a couple of days in order to get to that new setup and start to battle back. So it just takes patience to let that develop. You will sometimes have to invest more capital in a trade since risk usually is a little bit higher when swing trading. And this makes sense. When we're looking to stay in positions for between 2 and 5 days, we have to give those trades more wiggle room. We can't get wiggled out of every little move back and forth in the markets. We have to be able to stay in long enough to let those moves develop in our favor. So in many cases, that does take a little bit more risk. It doesn't mean we're taking thousands of dollars of risk, but we will have to bump that up a little bit when compared to a day trading approach. And then finally, you might experience some very slow, almost boring market conditions where you could be tempted to force the action. It's very easy to fall into this trap where you feel like you need to be active all day long. You want that activity, whereas, long term, I care more about making money than I do about being active each and every day. So when you're sitting there looking at that, is it a day trading approach that's best for me? Is it swing trading? The best part about what we're going to talk to you about today, you don't have to make that decision. Okay, you're going to have access to our entire toolbox of both day trading and swing trading, and when used together, it's a pretty powerful combo. Certainly not required, but when deployed, there's a lot of powerful profit potential to be made. Now that you're deciding between day and swing trading, which markets should you be looking at? This is the million-dollar question because there's just a lot of different opportunities out there. When you start to take a look at different stocks. You've got 4,000 different stocks that can be traded out there. 3,000 of those products have options available on them. You start talking about futures. You've got 300 futures markets. On the Forex side, there's 40 currency pairs that you can potentially trade. You look at those numbers and it can be overwhelming. But guess what? 99% of those markets, you don't need to worry about. We've narrowed the universe down to what we feel to be the best markets, the best candidates. Those are markets that we have seen the most success with long term. So we've done a lot of that hard lifting for you, and that's the great part about our program that we're going to talk to you about here today. So let me go ahead and pass it on over to Troy, and he's going to talk about the very best markets for day trading.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Mike. That's great information. Day trading, we focus on, we've been using the same markets for years, basically, and during the U.S. hours, the Russell E-mini, the Dow E-mini, the NASDAQ E-mini, those are the best E-minis. Notice I didn't say the ES. There's a reason for that. There's other great markets too, of course, crude oil futures, gold, there's some currency futures, some grains. We isolate and narrow down the best, and we focus on that. And we do them in the live trade room, so you get to see them. During the European hours, DAX futures, that's been a long time, big winning, producing market for us. Our favorite Forex markets to day trade would include the Euro Yen, the Pound Aussie, the Pound US. There's some other good ones, but you'll notice that some of the main ones I'm not mentioning, again, the the S&P E-mini, the ES, or the Euro US, and it's not that you can't trade those, it's just that those provide or come with additional challenges, and we like to choose the markets that are just easiest to prosper with, okay? And it's not that you can't trade them, but we're here to show you markets that are just simply easier and where you can have greater consistency and where you're going to have just an easier time succeeding with. And what we don't want to do is follow the crowd. So here's an example of our Spotlight Power Trader. We're really excited about this strategy, and it pretty much hits all the notes that Mark talked about at the beginning of the presentation. Simplicity, clarity, you know exactly where you're getting in, you know exactly where you're getting out. In this particular trade, that little plus sign there, that's showing you a short trade. That's your entry. And the dots below that, those are targets. And they've all been pre-calculated and tuned to market conditions. The strategy is dynamically tuning itself in live time as each bar prints. And then, of course, you can see the protective stop, how it quickly moves to take the risk off the trade and then begin to lock in profit. We also have these target possibilities, and we're going to teach you, of course, what the best targets to go for are. Usually it's the second one. We can add the third one. We can trail if we'd like. But over in the right-hand side, you'll see the entire trade is also printed and laid out for you. So all you have to do is click on the setup bar that shows the trade where the plus sign and the targets are, and then you'll see in the little data window there where you're going to enter, where your stop is placed, how we're going to move our stop, and what targets we have to go through or that we're going to take profits off at, among some other very useful information. So in the next example, we're going to look at the Russell E-mini, and notice that the trade almost looks identical. It's a completely different market, but the setup works the same way. So when you learn the technique, you learn it once, and then you apply it to all the different charts that you can use it on. In this case, we were in and out in a matter of minutes. The trade plan goal was hit that quickly with the very first trade of the day. Each contract in this case is worth $50 a point. It used to be $100 a point, but they've recently split it in half, which makes it easier to trade for a smaller account. If your account is of the appropriate size, you typically would trade 2 contracts or 4 contracts, whatever is appropriate for you, and then you could scale out at target 2 and at target 3. But notice that it looks exactly the same. And on this one, a Forex chart, this is the pound Aussie. And this time we're going long. You can see the entry to get in is above the bar, and everything else looks exactly the same. And the way Spotlight is designed is these colors make it so easy. When you're in the long trade, the bars are green. When you're not in any trade at all, the bars are gray. Gray means you're flat. In the prior examples, when we were going short, the bars were red. We really try to take the sophistication of the strategy and use the power of the programming to make this very simple and easy to trade with. So it's very visual. The structure on the chart guides you every step of the way. So for the next section about swing trading, I'm going to bring Mike back on the mic. And he's going to talk to you about swing trading.
Perfect. Thank you, Troy. So there's a lot of exciting results to be had on the day trading side, no doubt about it. But as I mentioned earlier, there's this other segment on the swing trading side that can be incredibly powerful as well. And for many people, it can provide that either that missing piece of the puzzle or some additional diversification to what you're already doing. So let's talk about this as far as best markets go. I personally like to trade options, and that's our preferred choice here at NetPicks. That's where we've seen the most consistency, the best results long term. You can certainly do this with Forex, and you can do this with stock. But what we have seen is you have more flexibility when trading options. So options trading is great since you can trade familiar names like Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Tesla, names that are in the news, names that we're all actively using their products each and every day. The problem with some of these, Amazon's $1,000 stock, so it's incredibly expensive if you're looking to trade the shares of stock. Well, by utilizing the options, they offer great leverage. And in many cases, we're able to get in and out of those trades for as little as a couple $100s per contract. So now all of a sudden, we're able to participate in some of the high flyers without a large account. Now you can also add weekly options trading to add an income element to your monthly swing trading options. This is one area that I'm super excited about right now. I'm a big believer in diversification, but that doesn't mean just with a mix of stocks and ETFs. It's also with a different mix of different options expiration cycles, different option strategies. The better mix of trades that you have going, the better your equity curve will be long term, and that can be pretty powerful. Options trading can provide 5 different ways to win on each trade you take. You won't find that in any other strategy or market. This is what attracted me to options trading years ago. When you're trading futures or you're trading Forex or even stock, when you get into a trade, you have one way of making money. Okay, so there is profit potential there. It can be challenging at times. When you're trading options, there's multiple ways that we can generate that income, and that means we don't have to have everything line up perfectly in our favor, and we can still make money. That's pretty attractive to me as a full-time trader because we know the markets can change in the blink of an eye. So not having to have everything line up perfectly, that's a huge advantage working in our favor. As I mentioned, Forex and stocks can be highly effective as well as swing trading products. On the Forex side, the swing trades, they are slower, but you have great position size flexibility to best fit your trading account. It's great if you're just starting out or have a smaller account size. We can trade with very small position sizes on the Forex side. On the stock side, just keep in mind you do need more capital to trade with. Trading a product like Amazon or Tesla, it will tie up more capital to be active in those bigger names. So let's go ahead and take a look at some charts here. As Troy showed on the day trading side, we're big believers at NetPicks of having a very specific set of criteria in mind when taking a trade. We want that methodology in place that we can stay disciplined to each and every day. So as you'll see on the chart, everything is outlined for us in real time. We have exact entry points, we have exact targets, exact stops. Everything is laid out for us before we ever get into a trade, and that just makes trading so much easier for us. It eliminates some of the emotional aspects of trading that we all get hung up with at times. It allows us to focus purely on price action. And the best part about trading options, we can react to whatever type of market condition we're seeing. We can benefit in up-moving markets, down-moving markets, sideways moving markets. We can respond very quickly to those changes in directional movement. So here's a chart of Facebook. This is a long trade that we've closed out of here recently. Again, everything's outlined for us. The blue dots on that chart represent our entry, the targets, and the stop. We came in and we bought the call options for $293 per contract. That's that great leverage that we were talking about earlier. So now for under $300 per contract, I'm controlling 100 shares of Facebook stock, which is over $100 a share. So we have great profit potential there without tying up a lot of capital in one position. So we actually booked a $280 profit on this. That's a 96% return. We're in and out in 2.5 days. That's what gets me excited about these markets because we see these types of returns all the time. Now, we know that the market's not always going to move higher. It's going to move lower at times as well. So here's American Airlines. Okay, so we know that when the market does move lower, we have an exact entry point, we have 2 targets, we have a stop. Everything's outlined for us in real time. So we came in, we bought the put options for $175 per contract, so less than $200 per contract to get into this trade. We come down and in less than 48 hours here again, we're hitting our full target. That's a $258 profit or 147% return. You can start to do the math in your head. We're talking about one contract here. You can scale up if you have more capital to work with. Nothing says you can't trade multiple contracts there, and all of a sudden you can start to do the math in your head where you're quickly supplementing an income or even replacing an income with just a few trades each and every week. Here's an Apple position. Okay, just showing you the flexibility in the systems that we offer. Right? It doesn't matter the product. We have exact entries, targets, and stops, and we can utilize that leverage here to be active in the markets each and every day. So the key to success with day trading or swing trading is having that diversified approach, having the mix of markets, having the mix of day trades and swing trades, and when you can do that, it's just an incredibly powerful combination. So let's take a look at a few possible scenarios. Let's take a look at a few hypothetical situations here. You know, at this point, hopefully we've piqued your interest and you're saying, okay, I see the potential here with the systems, but I don't know. Should I be day trading? Should I be swing trading? Should I be trading futures or options? Well, let's take a look at a few different types of situations. You may be able to plug yourself into one of these. So let's take a look at Doug. Doug is based in the U.S. does not have time to day trade, has $10,000 or more to trade with, and would like to grow his portfolio so at some point he can leave his current position and eventually day trade down the road? Well, in this case, Doug should trade options. He doesn't have a lot of time to trade each day. He has more than enough capital and would like to grow his account over time. So now we can start to plug Doug into the best area for his specific situation. Instead of trying to force one style of trading or one market to work for everybody, we can really plug each individual into the best area for their unique situation. Now let's take a look at Jeff. Jeff is also based in the U.S., has the time to actively trade in the morning, would like to start with $7,500 and is looking to start building an income stream. Well, in this case, Jeff should day trade the Russell E-mini futures. He has enough capital to start trading 2 contracts and will need to grow that account size to start developing a steady income stream. He has the time to trade in the morning and can easily scale this market to a number of contracts or add other futures markets. He should eventually look to diversify with swing trading, either options or Forex, over time. So now 2 completely different situations, but with the way our product is structured, we can plug them into the best area that are going to set themselves up for success long term. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few additional what-if scenarios or hypotheticals. And for this, I'm going to pass it on over to Troy, and he's going to walk you through those.
Great, thank you, Mike. So let's talk about Mary, who's actually based in the UK. She's got availability in the afternoon to trade and is also interested in growing her portfolio. She's got a nice account to trade with, over $25K to start, $25,000. Mary could actually day trade the U.S. futures market in the afternoon based on her time zone. That would be morning time when the U.S. market's open. Likely, I would recommend to her the Russell E-mini, the Dow E-mini, maybe the NASDAQ E-mini, a few other choices. She could ultimately start trading the DAX futures once she grows her account size a little bit further, in particular if she wants to swing trade as well. Mary should also at this point start learning options trading and likely trade the weekly options since she'll be around to make those trades. She'll progress little by little, but these are the types of recommendations we'll be making to her. Marcus, on the other hand, has a very large account, over $100,000, and would like to outperform the market. He's not looking to day trade right now, but he would like to diversify. What we would recommend to Marcus is to start trading stocks on a swing trading basis. With a margin account, he could deploy even more capital and add some leverage with controlled risk to his returns. He should also either add some Forex trading for diversification, or he should consider adding options trading in different markets from his stock investments. Depending on where he lives, he might want to eventually actively trade some Forex markets, which can work in all locations.
Great. So that appreciate that, Troy. I appreciate that, Mike. It kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what types of people you might find yourself as you listen to that. You probably match to some degree some of those. So you can see why starting to understand why the market matchmaking is so important. So don't worry just yet about not knowing your perfect fit, but like Mike said, there is a perfect fit for you, and we're going to be able to work with you one-on-one and make sure that you have the perfect match for your situation. But you can see everybody has a certain profile, and there's definitely a right match for everybody. Now, there's still one key thing that's missing, and we call this our 7 breakthroughs, and we got these from listening to our clients just like all of you. And these are the things that over and over again they told us were the things that were like the major light bulb moments. So I'm going to bring Brian on, and he's going to take us through these 7 breakthroughs so you understand that we've made sure that we've checked all of these, but these are very important to make sure you focus on. So Brian?
Thanks, Mark. As Mark mentioned, we've literally worked with thousands of traders over our 21 years, and these breakthroughs come from that. So just take a few minutes here and kind of think about this and how it applies to your situation. Breakthrough number 1, deciding it's time to be successful and commit. Accept that you've lost money in the past. It's okay if you've struggled. From this day forward, you're no longer out there to prove something. You're doing this to make money. You're ready to commit. Breakthrough number 2, you must only trade a system that is simple, clear-cut, and with minimal discretion. Too often, we try to overcomplicate. Trading does not reward complications. Instead, with our systems, for example, you'll always have structure that you can believe in. It's always clear on the charts. We never take a trade without knowing our entire objective and expected outcome. Breakthrough number 3, treating trading as a business and not get rich quick. No single trade is going to make you or break you. It's about consistency over time and treating this like a business. We keep our risk levels low and controlled and look to leverage our efforts for upside. Get-rich-quick traders instead try to hit home runs every time. We'll take our singles and our doubles, control our risk exposure with proper position size, daily goals, and steadily grow our accounts using the power of compounding. Breakthrough number 4, removing stress, emotions, and arrogance. Have you ever revenge traded? If you have any experience trading, you probably have. You've gotten mad about an outcome, then decided you'll double down, break the rules, and just fight your way back. This never works. It only gets worse. We have to find ways to remove stress and emotion as much as possible. It might not be 100%, but we can get to 90% of the way there. Simply lean on our systems and let them do the work. Breakthrough number 5, structure. I repeat, structure. We remove all the guesswork. We wait for our entry. When the conditions are ideal, that's when we pounce. Now the odds are stacked in our favor as our reward. We quit on the day when we're positive. We call that power of quitting. We follow a specific trade plan. We rely on this simple structure every day. Breakthrough number 6, live training, support, and handholding. Yes, handholding. We believe in virtually taking you by the hand, guiding you through every step. That means combining superior training, both videos and document, with live in the market training, live Q&A sessions, and real-time response when real trades are on the line. This is the way you master active income trading, not reading it in a book or merely watching a video. Breakthrough number 7, you must be consistent. You have to follow through. Follow the plan we lay out for you. Just go through the steps. Thousands of people have gone before you and proven that this is the way to go from your current level of success or failure to consistent income and growing through active trading. However, you must stay with the plan. You must follow through and you must avoid all temptations to veer from the success plan we give you. And those are the 7 breakthroughs.
Great. Thank you so much, Brian. So let's kind of really summarize it. The keys to success, right? Have a proven trading system that's worked for thousands of trades, have all the training and ongoing live in the market support that you need, have the ability to interact, ask questions, and advance your trade skills. Have the support of like-minded individual active traders just like all of you. Have the ability to add position size, markets, and ultimately strategies to create diversity and the strongest and most consistent income streams possible. So thanks to the NetPicks Inner Circle, you'll have access to all of this and much more. It's not difficult. The learning curves happen rapidly. You'll be trading for income typically well inside of 30 days. You'll be working alongside our proven strategies in use worldwide and with over 21 years of our personal experience. You benefit from our 2 decades of training individuals just like all of you to be successful active income traders. Here are just a few sample results from recent days. Mike and Troy showed you some on the chart, but again, this just continues to perform for us day in and day out, week in and week out. And again, it just gives you some idea of what's possible. And in particular, as you scale your account and you grow your account, you can trade larger position sizes and it doesn't take any additional effort. You'll have multiple opportunities every day if you choose to day trade, and even if you choose to swing trade, you're always going to have opportunities on a regular basis. But we definitely stress, start small, grow your position sizes over time, then you do not need to increase your risk as your account grows. This is the power of compounding that comes into effect. So look, what's your vision, mission, or purpose for watching this now? Think about your mission right now. What if you never again had to worry about overwhelm, large losses, account drawdowns, and inconsistent results again? How would you feel if you didn't have to? How would this positively impact your life right here, right now? After what I just detailed out for you, can you see how our proven systems, support, and training could support your vision? If so, my goal today is not to sell you on our powerful program. It works, plain and simple. And I'd bet that if you let me train you, it could literally change your life overnight as you get started, as it has for many, many clients before you. So I have a simple question for all of you. Do you want to see how to create a consistent income actively trading, working with us? I know that once our systems are fully implemented into your trading business, you will be able to create on-demand income for yourself. Control your schedule, hours and days like you never have prior. Be able to plan financially for the future. Have a skill set and a knowledge that is going to be used for your lifetime. These results are not being pulled out of thin air. I am basing this on my personal experience, our students' experiences, and the fact that since 1996, we have been training people just like all of you how to create income through trading the smart way. Controlled and limited risk, massive upside potential. The best way to see if our program is a perfect fit for you is to roll up your sleeves, get on the phone, and let's walk you through it to see how it will work for you. There are a few conditions that you need to be aware of. First, over the next 30 days, we are only working with a small handful of new students. I've got a decent-sized team, but since we work both small group and one-on-one in a live setting, we have to cap it off. Second, we only work with people who we think will see results. You must have what it takes. So we have a simple application process to find out if you're the right person for our training. You need to be teachable, have what it takes to be successful, and actually execute to get results. It's more than worth it if you do. We want you to be our next major case study and wildly profitable success story. So here's the deal. First, under this presentation, you need to scroll down and click on the Book a Session with Us button down below. When you click on that, it will open a simple calendar that will allow you to grab a time on our personal calendar. There will also be a few questions to answer about yourself so we can get a good feel before we hop on our free call together. After you book a time slot, we will give you a call on your scheduled time to see if we are a good fit to work together. When we do that, one of two things are going to happen. Scenario number one, and this is the most likely to occur. You'll say, wow, this is amazing. I want to take it to the next level. And then we'll talk about it and talk about what to do next. Scenario number two, this is unlikely to occur. You'll say, you know, this just isn't what I thought it would be, and I was hoping for something else. Hey, no problem, nothing lost. We'll always part as friends. In the unlikely event that scenario number two occurs, I'll even send you a free gift that we are currently selling for $397 just to improve your trading, and thanking you for taking the time with us. I'm not going to tell you what this training product is right now because I wouldn't want anyone to feel weird about us just giving it out, but it is very, very high value. But you'll get it for free, no strings attached. It's a way of us saying thanks for reaching out and taking your time to talk with us. That's how confident I am about what we have to teach and show you on our phone call together. You're either totally amazed or you get this $397 gift in exchange for your time. So here's what you're going to do next. Press the button below this presentation. Grab a time on our calendar. Once we receive your info, I'll send you a quick email reminder of the time you booked for our call, and we'll call you on that day and time. You know, look, notice number one, this offer expires this week. Like I said, it's going to be a very small group, so you need to go ahead and get your call scheduled. Number two, you need to be available for your strategy session when you request it. If you're not, then you'll forfeit your spot to work with us, which also means that we'll be pushing back your success that much longer, and you don't want to do that. Notice number three, this webinar training is getting viewed by hundreds of people over the next few days, and the strategy sessions are only on a first-come, first-served basis. With that said, you and I both know our available time slots will be reserved fast, so you need to grab a time with us right now. Thanks a lot for your time and for booking a slot on our calendar. I know you're going to love this, and we really look forward to talking to you soon. So thank you again from myself, from Brian, from Mike, from Troy. We'll be contacting you shortly based upon the time and date that you go ahead and register. So go ahead and click the button down below, and we look forward to getting on the phone, learning more about you, and talking all about the NetPicks Inner Circle. Thanks, everybody.